Hey everybody, thanks for checking in with us. I'm going to talk a little bit today about your F1 student interview. All right, the F1 student visa interview now, this is the final step in getting your visa put into your passport so you can come to the United States. That means you've already filled out your application, already been admitted to school, taken care of all the paperwork stuff. You're now heading to the consulate. And I want to bring to your attention three main points that you need to keep in mind when you head into this interview. This interview is primarily about, number one, you. They want to know about you, your past, your future, your academics, your personal life, anything that'll give them an idea of your being a successful student, that's how they think, and secondly, a successful visa, because that officer is thinking about, hey, is this person going to comply, go to school, and actually come back, all right? The second thing is going to be about your education, the school you're going to go to, the school plans you have, the schools that you've already completed. And the third thing is going to be about your family. Where are they? What status they have? What do they do? How they might be financially supporting you. Let's get into it. All right. So the first thing is very, very simple. You're going to go to an interview. You need to be prepared with your documents. Documents mean passport. Must be valid for 6 months. You must have your I-20. This is a document given by the school. You must have your passport photo. Usually that's uploaded digitally. Some consulates it might not be. And obviously you're going to be able to need to bring any documents they list on their interview notice. Typically you'll be bringing copies of things like your school transcripts, your admission letter, any information about the program, any information about your past school academic achievements. The idea here, bring a little more than they ask for. Be prepared. Because in the interview, if they ask you for a document or ask you a question, you're able to show them a piece of paper. I guarantee you they're going to be able to look at it either through the screen or under through the glass or underneath the counter, or they might want to just hear a little bit about it, okay? All right, so let's get into it. You got your documents ready. The very first thing that happens in these interviews is you're sitting and you're waiting. Wait patiently, be ready. Be dressed professionally. You're trying to represent yourself, and this is essentially a job interview. You're going to go up to the window, and in the most cases, you're going to be at a window with people around you, all right? Forget about them. This is about you. This is about your chance to be successful in this interview and convince that officer that you are not a liability. So let's take a sideways step for a really quick second and think about how that person thinks. So I used to be an ICE attorney. I was trained by Homeland Security, and I've been to their academy. And one of the things they say about Department of State officers is they're given extensive training, and they are evaluated on whether the person that they give a visa to actually goes to that school and then completes the school. And what they look for then is, as a personal point, the officers are looking to see, are you going to actually attend school? What do I see that's credible about you? How do I believe you? How do I believe your story? And how do I believe that you're going to do what you say you're going to do? So it's important that you have that in mind so you know, my job here is to express myself in a way that they really understand. They understand me, they understand my motivations, and they understand my goals and my future. And you have to be able to convey that in a way that's professional, that's concise, and then that makes sense, okay? Most common questions they'll be asking you is, hey, where are you going to school? What's the program? Why did you pick that school? And there you go. When they ask that question, why did you pick that school? That's really, really important because it ties into whether they're going to believe your future, what you're going to do. And why you pick that school could be many reasons. It could be simply, well, it's the one I got into, right? But what you really want to do is talk about that answer in a context. And you can say, well, it's always been a goal of mine to get an engineering degree from Rutgers University. Or it's always been a goal of mine to complete a program at a U.S. academic institution in engineering because they have great graduate programs, because you have an opportunity to learn, because it's cutting edge. There's a lot of things you can say, and you should add that, okay? You should have that one-sentence explanation. And what you want to keep in mind is answer these questions, giving the quick answer, but allowing for more detail. You should be practicing these answers with your friends and family, or even in front of the mirror, just to give an idea of what you look like and how you say, and how you speak. So they're going to ask you about your program, about your school, where it is. Again, talk about the school, talk about the schools you also applied to, didn't get into, talk about your choices and how you got there. They're going to ask you tons of questions about your past degree. Visiting the United States, have you ever visited there? Family members in the United States, do you know anybody there? Where are you going to stay? They'll ask you simple questions like, oh, who's paying for your university? You want to explain that. Now, if they ask you about yourself, I think you should be able to answer that one easily. All your accomplishments, where you've gone to school, your family's accomplishments, your career goals, all those things. The traps you want to be careful about is you never want to express a desire to live for the rest of your life in the United States. A student visa has a non-immigrant intent where you should be intending to return home. So all these questions and all this life history and explanations you're going to be giving, you need to kind of narrow it down so you don't sound like, hey, I can't wait to go live in America and get OPT and get STEM OPT and go get a job and make a lot of money and go live in Seattle or wherever it is you want to live, okay? So you need to keep in mind that you have to kind of point out like this is a career goal and leave it at that. What are you going to do after school? I don't know. If I get OPT, I'll be working in the United States for a little bit to get that experience. How about after that? Well, I don't really know. I mean, my family's here, my whole life is here. My mom wants me to get a job back here so I can be close to home. And these are normal, natural things. You know, you really don't know what you're going to do 4 or 5 years in the future, and you should basically express it in those terms. All right. Now, after they've asked about you, they've asked about the school, they've asked about your program choices, why you chose it, they do get into your family. Who are your parents? Where do they live? What do they do? I mean, that is an indication of your family relationships, and you should talk about those in a very positive way. If you may have been to the United States, you should express it also in a positive way. We've been to the United States, my parents have visited, that's it, okay? You don't really need to get into anything that creates a connection or an idea in the mind of the interviewer that you're gonna go move to the United States. So that's something I think you should keep in mind during your visa interview. And to close it all off, you know, you don't want to talk about any goals your parents have of you moving there. You don't want to talk about anything that kind of indicates you're gonna find a wife in the United States. You don't want to talk about those things. Find a way to shortcut those, express it in a simple, clear way. Don't lie. Just say it clearly. Oh, I don't know about that yet. I'm not sure what I'm going to do when I come to that. I'm so focused on my education. I'm not sure about getting married. I'm not sure about where I'm going to live. My parents want me to come home. It's a very simple way to handle this. The F1 interview is crucial. It is very important that you go into that interview, express yourself positively, handle any negative parts of your history that you think is important, and point out with a very positive attitude that you're the type of person that they want to approve. I don't see a lot of denials. Denials can be random. I really, really think it comes down to you and the person being in that window, being expressive and good at the interview. And if you need practice at that, work with your family or friends. It's a good idea. Lots of videos on YouTube talking about it. Check those out as well. If you do need an attorney, give us a call. We'd be happy to help you. But at this point, I want you to get that interview done and come see us when you come to the United States. All right. Hope this helps, guys. Thanks a lot. Bye.